From the murky waters of the sportsman's paradise, stories emerge. Stories of the generations of people who have shared in the bounties of the land. Stories of communities that have persevered through natural disasters. Stories of the abundance of fish, wildlife, and adventures that create an ecosystem rich in diversity. And from the silted banks of the mighty Mississippi to the soggy marsh bottoms, from the tops of the towering pine forest to the depths of the salty Gulf, human and animal have shared in this fortune for centuries. Enjoy these stories as told by outdoor journalists who travel across our state documenting the adventure, sportsmanship, and heritage that make us Bayou Wild.
Welcome to Bayou Wild TV. I'm Martha Spencer here with Don Dubuque, and we're of course at our home base of Morton Seafood Restaurant in Madisonville, right along the Tchefuncte River. This week we're going to head down to Lower Plaquemines Parish. We're going to go on a daddy-daughter fishing trip with Captain Walter Heathcock and his amazing daughter Irelyn. She's 13 years old and she is a fantastic fisherwoman and all-around outdoors girl.
My favorite thing about hanging out with my dad is that there's always an adventure, and then when the adventure starts, it just never stops.
Sometimes she looks at me with that funny look, and then it's like, all right, well, I've always trusted my dad before. Let's go see where this goes. So that's basically me and her relationship.
And then we're going to go back to Slidell and meet Kim Vandenborre. You saw her in previous episodes. She's going to do a redfish recipe for us. It's delicious and it's all coming up. We're down here on a beautiful day in Lower Plaquemines Parish. I've graduated from the spinning reel to a bait caster, but one thing that's always intimidated me and I've never tried before is fly fishing. We're here with Captain Matt Morel and we're going to try and catch some redfish on the fly.
Fly line got him.
Bye-bye.
Closed captioning made possible by Ceto.com. Become a member. Here's how I guarantee my crawfish tastes great every time. I use what the pros use. I use Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Why do the pros use Louisiana Fish Fry seafood boil?
Because, guys, it has more herbs and spices.
It has a much better flavor.
It's easy, just pour and boil.
Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Find the yellow bag, pour and boil for great crawfish every time.
You get to see stuff that other people don't, and it's just, you get to experience nature, because now people just have their heads in technology and everything, and you don't see what's really happening.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouse's.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouse's. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouse's makes.
Welcome back to Bayou Wild, and you know, I've got 3 daughters and I love to take them fishing. Don't get to fish with them as much as I'd like to, and you were on a very special daddy-daughter trip.
We had a gorgeous, little bit breezy day. It was coming in a little bit before a rain system, but man, the redfish were chewing. We were out with Walter Heathcock and his daughter Irelyn. He owns a fishing charter down in Venice, and she is just the spitting image when it comes to catching fish. She is fearless, 13 years old, baits her own hook. She tells us how you can be an outdoors girl and a girly girl and not set any barriers on what you want to do. We'll introduce you to them and show you how to catch a lot of redfish. The bond of a father and his daughter can be as unique as the spots on a redfish tail. Irelyn Heathcock has been catching redfish with her father Walter for many years.
Ooh! Where you going, girl? Nice little keeper, huh?
He's heavy.
I know, it's fat. All these fish are eating right here. Hey, you want your picture with him?
My favorite thing about hanging out with my dad is that there's always an adventure, and then when the adventure starts, it just never stops.
Sometimes she looks at me with that funny look, and then it's like, all right, well, I've always trusted my dad before. Let's go see where this goes. So that's basically me and her relationship. Look, get him. First time I ever took a fish, and I don't remember exactly how old she was, but I think her first redfish was around 3 or 4 years old.
I got a rat red. Maybe.
Captain Walter Heathcock grew up in Venice. The marshes and waters offshore have been his backyard since the days of commercial shrimping with his father.
Nah, he's close, but I'm gonna let him live. About 15 and a half. Come look at the blue on the tail. Means they're hungry. Means they're eating. My dad brought me up down here. He's taught me how to live off the land, not to just have to rely on somebody. He's taught me how to make money, and that's what I'm trying to teach her, is how you can make a living off of the water by just listening to your dad. It's that green jig head.
One, two, three. Who's gonna get it?
Irelyn exudes confidence on the water and catching fish. From baiting her own hooks to knowing how to use the radio in an emergency, Walter takes pride knowing his daughter could take the reins if necessary.
The thing I've taught her over the years of coming out in the boat with me, going hunting with me, just the basics of driving a vehicle. I've taught her since she was young how to drive my mud boat, my regular boats, my four-wheelers, my trucks, how to use the VHF radio just in case something ever happens to me, because you never know when you're on the water if something happens or where you're at, something could happen. I don't want to just be laying there with her looking at me. I want her to jump in and to be able to save me or do whatever she has to do to get me to safety and vice versa. See, this is perfect on a day when you have customers and little kids. You get your keepers and then you get your rats. And it stays, your pole stays bent all day long. Look.
I'll try. Oh wait, one was just attacking it. Oh, there's one right there.
Oh, so hungry.
Irelyn may love the outdoors and all the adventures it holds, but she's very much a jack of all trades. She wants to be a beautician one day and knows she doesn't just have to fit in one mold.
Yeah, I'll throw on, something to go on the boat, something that just came out of my closet, but I would still dress up and do my hair for something else. My favorite thing to go do is duck hunting. I love going duck hunting, and then I'd probably pick duck hunting and deer hunting and just like something that has to do with hunting. Yeah. But on the other side, I guess I would be fishing.
Wait for me, wait for me. I want to play. That's a good one you got.
Oh, I'm definitely the better fisherman. Like, that's not even an argument. I'm just the better one.
Logging all the data and conditions the easy way for your trophy catch, download 20 Echo from the App Store.
Some people have the jobs where they got a certain day where they could take their kid to work. I could take my kid to work any day. It's great. And she's a pleasure to be around. She's very respectful to other people, which makes it great. How pretty.
You get to see stuff that other people don't, and it's just, you get to experience nature, because now people just have their heads in technology and everything, and you don't see what's really happening. It's all red. It hurts.
Oh, does it feel better now? Oh, look at it. I get you a little stick and a Band-Aid when we get in it. You'll be happy. It's another thing she likes right here, marsh flowers. How pretty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just for you, sweetheart.
When it comes to daddies and daughters, maybe Joseph Addison said it best. Certain is that there is no kind of affection so purely angelic as of a father to a daughter. In love to our wives, there's desire. To our sons, ambition. But to our daughters, there is something which there are no words to express.
Don, we fished for about 3 to 4 hours, and I'd say we caught over 200 redfish that day. So much so that they were biting on bare hooks. It was a fantastic trip. Coming up, I step out of my comfort zone and pick up a fly rod. We head out there with Captain Matt Morel, and he teaches me how to toss a fly.
You still see him, huh?
Yeah.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Find out if alternative treatment is the answer to your pet's health issues. Contact Dr. G at vetnaturally.com.
Here's how I guarantee my crawfish taste great every time. I use what the pros use. I use Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Why do the pros use Louisiana Fish Fry seafood boil?
Because, guys, it has more herbs and spices.
It has a much better flavor.
It's easy, just pour and boil.
Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Find the yellow bag, pour and boil for great crawfish every time.
We're down here on a beautiful day in Lower Plaquemines Parish. I've graduated from the spinning reel to a bait caster, but one thing that's always intimidated me and I've never tried before is fly fishing. We're here with Captain Matt Morel, and we're gonna try and catch some redfish on the fly.
Well, today we got plenty sun, which is great, and semi-clean water, so visibility should be good. So hopefully we'll go down these shallow flats, and we'll see a few tailing, and get you a shot at a few.
What are the most optimal conditions for fly fishing, sight fishing?
Light wind and not a cloud in the sky.
And clear water.
Clear water, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Low tide too. The lower the water, the better usually.
Then you can see the tails easier.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
All right.
Most people who fly fish only fly fish. Most of the time, the fly fisherman is more attention to detail, and I think they just enjoy the technique, and that's what keeps them hooked. All right, 11 o'clock up against that bank, about 10 feet off that bank. You see that water moving right there?
Right there, yeah.
Yep, I think that might be one. Might be going from right to left.
All right, right in front of us, right in front of us.
Get him.
Spooks, come on.
So he's spooked.
He's
See
right in
him
front
spooked?
of us still.
Yeah, he's still. We're gonna let him settle. Well, catching the fish is a great part. It's just, from the very beginning, seeing fish, then missing it, and then seeing more fish, and just the building to that, catching that fish, it's just exciting.
This wind is not doing us any favors, and the ripples in the water don't help. My mom fly fishes, and I saw her struggles with it, and I also saw her kind of obsession with it. And just everything you see in the movies, it's kind of a little more finessed, a little more fancy, and it looks hard. I mean, it's so graceful, and I'm not the most graceful person.
You wait too long in the back, and you're dropping your rod way too much.
And I just scared them all.
10 and 2, remember, 10 and 2. You're doing.
I can't see him anymore. Thanks.
He's at 11 o'clock.
Yep, no, he's right in
going
front
to
of
12.
us.
Fly line got him.
Bye-bye. Hey, at least I was close. It's like going on the pony ride at the fair to riding a bucking bronco. Progress.
We're getting there. Look, back out the water, 12 o'clock. Tail all the way down the bank. See past that island?
One is complete control. You have a control of your environment. Nothing's moving and you think you're doing okay. And then you get put out in the elements where you're being spun around, the wind's blowing the line in your face, the fish are moving. It's just a cloud all of a sudden. So you have to put all the elements that you learned, think about them, but don't think about them too hard, and apply them and not get too excited. So I think all fishing takes people's minds off other things, but this takes your mind off literally everything but what you're doing. You're cruising too.
Pressure's on now.
Stay calm.
That's a nice fish. That's 2 of them. All right, you can drop it now. Drop it to your right. I don't know if I'm gonna get in there or not. It's 3 of them. Look at that big one on to the right. When you think you can get to him, that's about 30 feet. All right, you're gonna have to try to get to them because they're moving across. Get past them. And just turn. Come on, haul it out. All right, listen. I want you to watch your fly, okay? So you're letting it drop.
And that's spooking them?
And it's spooking them.
Okay.
Yeah, everything is in fly fishing is different, so, the line we use is, like the fly line we were using today was a weighted front fly line. So what that means is the line in the front where your leader's attached has the weight. So that's what helps you get that line, shoot that line out. So that's one thing. Okay, then the whole leader thing with the tippet is another whole thing. You know, there's different terminology. You got all kinds of different flies. You got dry flies, wet flies, and it's just a bunch of stuff. So you can really get lost in all the stuff, the gear and that kind of stuff.
I know this is frustrating for you.
There he goes. Spooked.
Didn't even give me the chance.
Well, with anything, when sight fishing, you've got to be accurate. That's the biggest thing. You've got to put either, if you're sight fishing with a casting reel or a fly rod, you've got to put that fly or that bait right in front of him, but you can't get it too close to him to where you spook the fish.
I really enjoy sight fishing with a bait caster because you can kind of control it a little easier, but even that gets frustrating because sometimes the fish don't want to eat. But the 3 or 4 times that I may have gotten a bait to the fish, I didn't get it to the fish the right way, for instance, throwing it on its back. So it can be extremely frustrating, and being a not so patient person, I found it very challenging. I would definitely do it again, but it's definitely something you're not just gonna pick up and do. She forfeits to the bait caster.
Here's how I guarantee my crawfish taste great every time. I use what the pros use. I use Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Why do the pros use Louisiana Fish Fry seafood boil?
Because, guys, it has more herbs and spices.
It has a much better flavor.
It's easy, just pour and boil.
Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Find the yellow bag, pour and boil for great crawfish every time.
In 1967, Dutch Stogner realized his dream to run his own meat market. 50 years and 3 generations later, Double D and the Stogner family still operate with Dutch's original commitment to quality. Pick up some Double D sausage today and share your good times with us on Facebook.
Here's how I guarantee my crawfish taste great every time. I use Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Why do the pros use Louisiana Fish Fry seafood boil?
Because the flavor is so good.
It has more garlic, onion, paprika, lemon, and not too much salt.
It has much better flavor.
Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Find the yellow bag, pour and boil for great crawfish every time. Oh yeah, the redfish, you gotta love them.
I think you done lost your bait. Oh, I seen something in there.
There's a chicken in his mouth. Today we thought it would be good to suggest what to do with them when you come home with them. It's Captain Dudley and Kim Vandenborre's Redfish Cakes.
One of the good things about this recipe, you can use these bigger redfish. You know, the secret always on these bigger redfish is to cut all this red out.
Now that Dudley's completed boiling the fish, I'm going to take it out of the colander, chop this up as fine as I can. It's kind of looking like this. So now I'm adding celery, white onions, and of course green onions. I like the extra color in there, the green. I do like to add extra seasonings. Okay, now I'm going to add some breadcrumbs.
She's way better than me. I mean, some of the stuff she cooks is really, really good. I can barbecue pretty good and cook fish and seafood pretty good. But boy, you make a lasagna or you make a red bean, she's way better than me on them, and she's definitely better than me.
He's very good on the green egg. Cooking outdoors, anything outside on grilling, I cannot compare to that. But Other things are probably my forte. Okay, so the eggs have been completed, and I will add them into my mixture here. So I'm going to go ahead and stir this all together. By adding this breadcrumb, when you do pan fry it in the olive oil, it'll give it that little brown golden coloring to it. Sometimes I'll flip them one more time just to make sure that that onion is cooked inside. The only other thing that I do to top this off is combine horseradish sauce and ketchup together.
Dudley's Deadly Redfish Cake. Only a couple ways to get them. Find a neighbor who's a good fisherman that's very generous, or
Give me a call and I'll take you to catch them.
here's how I guarantee my crawfish tastes great every time. I use what the pros use. I use Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Why do the pros use Louisiana Fish Fry seafood boil?
Because, guys, it has more herbs and spices.
It has a much better flavor.
It's easy, just pour and boil.
Louisiana Fish Fry brand seafood boil. Find the yellow bag, pour and boil for great crawfish every time.
Hi, I'm Donnie Rouse. There are a lot of different reasons to shop at Rouse's.
It's the people. Everybody that works here is just so nice.
Our stores get deliveries 7 days a week.
They have such a wide variety at Rouse's. Everything's in stock. I mean, everything.
We use Rouse family recipes and ingredients found right here in the store.
It's the food. Rouse's food tastes like homemade.
And they're local.
Like us.
We also have great prices.
That's the difference Rouse's makes.
Hope you enjoyed this week's edition of Bayou Wild. Coming up next week, we're going to let you meet the Hunter of the Year for 2017, a young man by the name of Seth Gottardi and his grandfather Rick, who were honored in Alexandria at the Louisiana Outdoor Writers Association convention last year. He's also a baseball pitcher for North Shore High, a great team. You'll love meeting him.
We got out there late, and then got set up. The turkeys were gobbling by the time we set up, and then my grandpa started calling, and that's when the turkey came in.
Thanks for watching another edition of Bayou Wild. As a reminder, you can follow our shows on YouTube. Just look for our Bayou Wild TV YouTube channel. All of the episodes air at 7 o'clock, the same as they do on CST, and you can find it all online. We also have social media, Bayou Wild Instagram and Facebook, so check those out as well.
And if you can't wait till the show airs, catch us on radio Saturday mornings, 5 to 7 a.m. on the Outdoors with Don Dubuque Radio Network. See you next week with another edition of Bayou Wild TV.